Unhooked from the narrative. You've been living inside a story that was really never yours, handed down by your parents, culture, trauma, traditions. But who are you when you stop playing all these roles? In this episode, we're going to rip off the mask, and there's going to be no more autopilot for you, no more living inside of someone else's script. It's time for you to unhook yourself from the past. I think right now you got the opportunity in this episode to do just that. Unhook yourself from the past. And right now you get to finally live a script and write a script that's your own. And today we're going to go over 3 strong bullet points that'll really help you dive into unhooking from the narrative. So today we're going to go right into breaking the script, challenging unconscious stories that you've inherited from your family, society, or culture that no longer serves you. And the question you have to ask yourself ultimately is, who am I without the labels? When I strip away all of the trauma, when I strip away the roles, and when I just get to the raw truth of my identity and I go beyond the narrative, can I rewrite a new story? Can I step into the river of change and see what's on the other side and see what's possible for me? And that's a question that everyone should ask themselves. Can I see what's possible? Can I step into the river of change? Can I see what's on the other side? And then go from there. So we're going to dive right into rewriting your reality. And we're going to learn how to consciously author your life instead of repeating chapters written by your fear and your shame. I think a lot of times we don't realize that we are living in the past of our trauma. We're living in the past of our shame, not realizing that we have to unhook ourselves from that narrative, the narrative that no longer serves us anymore. Believing that you can't do something, believing that you've done everything that you can, that doesn't serve you. What does serve you is stepping into a new identity, stepping into an identity that says, you know what, anything is possible because I know it is, because I see what's on the other side. You have to see what's possible for yourself because anything is possible. And that's the reality. Anything is possible. So as you understand this, as you rewrite this, right? As you rewrite the narrative, here's what you're going to do. You've been cast into a role. You've been cast into a role and you've never auditioned for it. You were told who you are, how to feel, what to believe. But today we're going to break the contract with that, okay? Today we're going to unhook from this narrative, not the story they told you, but the one you keep telling yourself. So what have you inherited? What ideas, what beliefs, what systems of understanding have you started to dive into and believe that that's real for you? What is it that has you not living out your dreams? What story, what narrative do you need to unhook from? None of my family went to college. My mother said I wasn't good enough. My father didn't pick me up from school when I was little. Nobody came to my games. So therefore that means that I'm not worthy. I'm not acceptable of love. That's not real for me. And it's so not true. We have to understand that what we've inherited, our families, our religions, our expectations, and how trauma and fear and survival has locked us into these identities that really don't serve us. So for me, I remember when my mom and my dad split up, and my dad never made it to my games, and my mom was working a lot, and I said to myself, well, maybe I'm not important enough for my mom or my dad to go to my games. And so my grandmother or my grandfather would go, and they would go to the games with me, and I carried that belief with me. I carried that, well, since nobody came to my games and so on and so forth, that means I'm not worthy. That means that I may not be good enough. But here's what you have to understand. You're always going to be able to achieve based on your narrative. And what do I mean by that? If you have I can't get this done because of this, or I can't be successful because of my past, that's a narrative that you can't take with you. That's not going to serve you. You have to unhook from the things that never served you. Just because something is familiar for you doesn't mean that it's true. I'm going to say that again. Just because trauma is familiar for you, just because all carrying around baggage is familiar, doesn't mean it's true. So let's move on from this. The emotional toll that you get from living a false identity. What happens? You get anxiety, you get burnt out, you feel disconnected. You almost have a sense of self-betrayal, right? And the question you need to ask yourself as we're sitting here right now on the Fearless Conversation podcast, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like. People would rather stay in a painful story than to face the unknown of freedom. I'm going to say that again. People would rather stay in a painful story because it's familiar than to face the unknown of freedom. See, here's the reality, right? You have comfort and then you have alignment. Just because you're comfortable with chaos doesn't mean it's aligned with where you're going. Just because you're comfortable with chaos doesn't mean it's aligned with where you're going, right? Your peace doesn't live in who you've been, but it lives in who you're becoming. I'm going to say that again. Your peace and your comfort does not live in the person that you've always been. Your peace and comfort lives on the other side of the person that you've never known, the other side of addiction, the other side of I can't do it, the other side of I'm not good enough. That's where your peace is. Your peace is right there. So as you're breaking the awareness, as you're breaking the inherited ideas, what happens next? Well, here's what you should do. You should write down, okay, hold on. Whose voice is this? Is this my mom's voice telling me I'm not good enough? Is this my dad's voice saying, hey, you can't do that? And start writing down when you hear these voices. Where is this coming from? What is this trauma that I'm holding on to, that I'm hooked onto? What is this doing to me? Write that down. Start an awareness journal, right? You're aware of what your thoughts are doing to you, right? Wait a minute. I want to do something, but I haven't. My mom says I can't do it. Write that down. Whose voice is that? It's my mom's voice. It's not mine. My dad says I'm not good enough. Whose voice was that? My dad when I was 6. Let's write. Underneath that, we're going to put down rejection. Let's figure this out, right? How do we let it go? Number one, we're going to start a journal, an awareness journal, right? We're going to write down whose voices am I hearing? Number two, rejection, letting go of the need to make others comfortable with your growth. Listen, you're either growing together or you're growing apart. You don't have to convince somebody that they need to grow. Either they're growing with you or they're going to grow apart. I'll say that again. Either people are going to grow with you or they're going to grow apart from you. Either way, I'm going to grow. Write that down. People either grow with me or grow without me. Either way, I'm going to grow. All right. So, number 3, reauthoring. Reauthoring. What is reauthoring? That means that you're going to rewrite, reconstruct what it is that your truths are. What are your values, right? You're going to say it out loud. Here's one thing you can say out loud. Number 3, you're going to reauthor that, right? Number 2 was what? Rejection. Letting go of the need to make others feel comfortable with your growth. Either you're growing with me or growing without me. Either way, I'm growing. Number 1 was awareness. Whose voice am I hearing when I'm going for success? Whose voice is in the way when I'm getting ready to do what I need to do? Let's go on to number 3, as we were saying, reauthoring. Starting to choose values on a daily basis. What does that mean? You're going to write down, what is my story? What am I saying out loud? And you're going to listen to what it is that you're telling yourself throughout the day. What is your story? What is your self-talk, right? When you hear, I'm not good enough, when you hear things that you're saying that are not aligned with your values, you're going to say to yourself, that's not my story. You're going to say, that's not my story. That's not aligned with who I am. That's not aligned with where I'm going. So I reject that thought. You can't believe everything you think. Some thoughts need to be rejected. You can't believe everything you think. Some thoughts need to be rejected. Removing self-talk rooted in guilt, shame. You can't, it can't go with you on this next stage, this next journey of your life. So those are 3 key points that you're going to use to unhook yourself from the narratives, the stories that no longer serve you. Understand this. Unhooking yourself from the narrative isn't about erasing the past. It's about refusing to let it dictate your future. Listen, I remember when my mother passed away. And I said to myself, you know what? I really don't know how I'm going to make it past this. I don't know what I'm going to do now that mom's gone. But I said, you know, what would she want me to do? Would she want me to be sad about this, or would she want me to cross over and figure out what what good can I take away? What good did she bring to my life? What joy has happened? And understand this, wherever you are in life, you're not lost. You've just outgrown the script. You've just outgrown the narrative. A lot of us feel like you've gotten to a place where things seem unfamiliar, people seem unfamiliar, and it's okay. It's because you've outgrown them. You've outgrown people, places, and things, and you've unhooked yourself from the narrative, and now you're standing in a place feeling like you don't know what to do. But guess what? You have a person that's here with you to help you see around the corners, to help you step into the river of change and see what's possible for you. I don't know about you, but if you're ready to stop living someone else's story, I want you to make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you go to geraldfears.com, book your one-on-one session so we can see what's on the other side and unhook you from the narrative that's been holding you back. I'll see you guys in the next episode. This has been Gerald on Fearless Conversations. See you guys.